the convolution in the frequency domain. So the multiplication is also nothing but it's a modulation. Multiplication is also nothing but the modulation. So we can perform the modulation of the signal in the time domain. We can do it here. So it's visible, right? Video clarity is there, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So take the statement of this one. If x of n dtft is equal to the x of e to the power of j omega and y of n dtft is equal to y of e to the power of j omega, then z of n. So z of n is nothing but, so it's a product of the two sequences x of n into y of n. So if we take the dtft, so this is become z of e to the power of j omega. So this is equivalent to the convolution in the frequency domain. So we can write like this. So it is equal to the 1 over 2 pi into the convolution of the sequences x of e to the power of j omega convolution with y of e to the power of j omega. So this is the property in the time multiplication in the time domain is equivalent to the convolution in the frequency domain. Okay. So let us prove this one. Let us prove this one by taking the inverse for dtft. Let us take that one and we'll prove that one, because we need to convert the product of these two into the convolution integral we need to convert here. So for that one, let us consider the dtft of the z of e to the power of j omega. So we'll take it as a solution. So we can take consider. So we'll consider z of e to the power of j omega, which is nothing but summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity z of n into e to the power of minus j omega n, z of n into e to the power of minus j omega n. So here z of n is nothing but it's a product of the two sequences. So z of e to the power of j omega is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity plus infinity x of n into y of n into e to the power of minus j omega n into e to the power of minus j omega n. Okay. Now what shall we do? Now we'll substitute for the sequence. So here x of n is a, y of n is a. We need to convert this in terms of the convolution of x of e to the power of j omega into y of e to the power of j omega. We need to convert as a convolution integral here. So now to convert, what we'll do is we'll substitute x of n, which is nothing but the inverse dtft formula. Let us substitute for the x of n here, and we'll convert this formula into the corresponding required quantity. So, okay. So I will consider the x of n, the inverse dtft of x of e to the power of j omega will consider. So you can take from the inverse dtft, inverse dtft. So we have the formula from the inverse dtft. It is 1 over 2 pi, the integral from minus pi to the plus pi, because we are taking in terms of the omega we are taking. Okay. So here in omega, because if I take the plus c to the power of j omega, it will get cancelled. So not avoid that one. So I'm going to take in terms of the other function called as e to the power of j lambda. I'll take here e to the power of j lambda. Okay. So x of e to the power of j lambda into, so e to the power of j lambda n will take here into d lambda. So I'm going to represent the frequency domain quantity in terms of the lambda. I'm going to represent in terms of the lambda. Right. So now let us substitute this x of n in the formula, and we'll evaluate the summation and the integral, and we'll get the corresponding quantities. What is the required terms we'll get. So let us substitute here x of n here. So if you substitute here, it will become z of e to the power of j omega, which is equal to the summation. Thank you. Summation. Okay. So n is equal to minus infinity to the plus infinity. X of n in place of the x of n will substitute as 1 over 2 pi, the integral from minus pi to the plus pi. So I'm substituting as x of e to the power of j lambda into e to the power of j lambda n into d lambda, and the rest of the terms is y of n e to the power of minus j omega n. Y of n e to the power of minus j omega n. So we'll substitute here and we'll evaluate this one. Now, whenever we substitute the new quantities, what I did is in place of the x of n, I substituted these terms here. So summation n is equal to minus infinity plus infinity 1 over 2 pi integral x of e to the power of j lambda e to the power of j lambda n into d lambda into y of n into e to the power of minus j n. Okay. So whenever we substitute a new quantity, what shall we do? We'll interchange the order of the integration and the summation. We'll do interchange here. Okay. So accordingly, so the terms will be. So again, write interchanging the summation and integration, interchanging summation and integration, interchanging summation and integration. So what we'll get is, so z of e to the power of j omega. So this will become equal to the 1 over 2 pi is the constant. 1 over 2 pi is the constant here. So this 1 over 2 pi, I'm going to take outside here. So the remaining quantities, the integral from minus pi to the plus pi. Okay, so x of e to the power of j lambda. And the summation we are going to write summation n is equal to minus infinity to the plus infinity. So what we have is, we have y of n left out term into e to the power of j lambda n e to the power of minus j omega n e to the power of minus j omega n e to the power of minus j lambda n is there. Right. So now we'll take the n common, we'll take here, and minus j will take common. So this is z of e to the power of j omega. So 1 over 2 pi integral from minus pi to the plus pi x of e to the power of j lambda. These terms summation n is equal to minus infinity to the plus infinity y of n e to the power of minus j. Why I'm taking minus j? Because TFT formula minus j is required here. That's what I'm taking. So it is omega minus lambda into n, omega minus lambda into n. So we have taken minus j common here, and we got minus j omega minus lambda into n. Now this is a formula which is similar to the DTFT of the y of n. So since y of n is the input, the corresponding output will be y, capital Y. And in the frequency domain, so you can remove minus and you can remove n. So the remaining quantities j into omega minus lambda will get j into omega minus lambda. And also forget here, so it is d lambda is there, because in the integral part you can see here the d lambda is there in the inverse DTFT formula. So it has, here it is there, and here it has been missed. So here you can write d lambda, it is there. So this entire quantity we can apply the, it is similar to the DTFT of y of n. So we can write that one as 1 over 2 pi integral from minus pi to the plus pi x of e to the power of j lambda, and y is the input, the corresponding output is y, and remove minus and n. The remaining quantity we can write as e to the power of j omega minus lambda into d lambda. We can write e to the power of j lambda e to the power of omega minus lambda into d lambda. So this is the integral, and this is similar to the convolution integral formula. That is, we have the convolution, so we know that. So what we know is, we know the convolution of something called, I'm going to take in terms of x of t, convolution with y of t. So which is nothing but integral. So x of tau into y of t minus tau into d tau, y of t minus tau into d tau. So it is similar to that form. So x of tau is here, y of t minus tau into d tau is there. So this is lambda. So this one we can write as a convolution of x of e to the power of j omega with y of e to the power of j omega we can write here. So therefore, the above equation we can write as y of e to the power of j omega is equal to, so 1 over 2 pi into x of e to the power of j omega convolution with y of e to the power of j omega. So hence the RHS part. So this is a proof. So we come to know, if you are going to multiply two time domain sequences in the time domain, so that is equivalent to the convolution in the frequency domain we are going to perform, and we are going to be, it is to be scaled by the factor 1 over 2 pi. It is going to be scaled by the factor 1 over 2 pi, and we'll get the required proof.
Sir, in LHS it is z d to the power j omega, no sir?
sorry, yeah, so it is z e to the power of j omega, not y. Okay, so it is z e to the power of j omega is equal to this entire quantity. Done. So this is what the multiplication in the time domain. And we'll go for the next property, which is very important property, which is called as the Parseval's theorem. Parseval's theorem. So take the property number 10, which is called as Parseval's theorem. Parseval's theorem. Okay. So just a second, hold on. I'll get pen. Take the next property, which is called as the Parseval's theorem. So the Parseval's theorem is going to correlate the energy in the time domain with respect to the energy in the frequency domain. It is going to correlate. Okay. So we'll consider the Parseval's theorem. So take the statement. If x of n dt of t is equal to x of e to the power of j omega. If x of n dt of t is equal to x of e to the power of j omega, then energy E, so energy in the time domain is equal to summation n is equal to minus e to the plus infinity. You know the formula for the energy, x of n, the magnitude the whole square. This is equal to, in the frequency domain, you are going to correlate the energy in the frequency domain. So in the frequency domain, the signal is continuous with respect to the frequency. So we'll take minus pi to the plus pi, x of e to the power of j omega, the magnitude the square into d omega, magnitude the square into d omega. So we'll consider the proof of this one. So what you are going to do is we'll consider the energy of the signal in the time domain you are going to consider, and we'll convert that into the respective terms here. So consider the LHS part. In order to prove this one, consider LHS. Consider the LHS part. So which is the energy of the signal. So this energy is equal to it is a summation n is equal to minus infinity to the plus infinity x of n, the magnitude the square. So this one we can write as the magnitude can be written as, so it is, we can write as a product of x of n into x conjugate of n, we can write here. So it is summation minus infinity plus infinity x of n into x conjugate of n. So that will represent the magnitude of the signal, the magnitude of the signal. Now what I'll do is, so in order to get this quantity, so I'm going to consider the x of n, the inverse dt of t of x of e to the power of j omega we'll consider, and we are going to substitute the formula for x conjugate of n, and we'll get the required quantity. So you can consider what I'm going to do is, I'm going to consider the inverse dt of t. So it is 1 over 2 pi integral from minus pi to the plus pi x of e to the power of j omega into e to the power of it is plus j omega n into d omega. So this is the formula for the inverse dt of t. This is the formula for the inverse dt of t. Now, since we want x conjugate of n, so what I'll do is I'll take conjugate on both the sides. We'll take, so taking conjugate on both the sides, taking conjugate on both the sides, taking conjugate on both the sides. So if you take the conjugate, it will become x conjugate of n is equal to 1 over 2 pi. So 2 pi is it's a constant, it's an integer constant. It does not have any complex quantity, so it will remain same. And the conjugate of this one will become x conjugate of e to the power of j omega. And if you take the conjugate of plus j omega n, it will become e to the power of minus j omega n into d omega. E to the power minus j omega n into d omega. Now we'll substitute this in place of the x conjugate of n. So you can call this as equation number 1. Substitute x conjugate of n in the equation 1. So we'll substitute x conjugate of n in equation 1. Substitute this in the equation 1. So what we'll get is the energy formula will become summation n is equal to minus infinity to the plus infinity. So here we have 1 over 2 pi is there. So that will, we can substitute here. So it is x of n will remain same as it is. In place of x conjugate of n, we are going to substitute. It is 1 over 2 pi. The integral from minus pi to the plus pi, x conjugate of e to the power of j omega into e to the power of minus j omega n into d omega. So here, as per the proof, we need 1 over 2 pi is required. And also we want integral part is also required here. So the integral part is there, 1 over 2 pi is there. Now we need to convert the x of n into e to the power of minus j omega n as a x of e to the power of j omega, so that we'll get the required proof. Now we'll substitute. We'll interchange the order of the integration with the summation. We'll interchange. So interchanging order of summation and integration. Interchanging order of summation and integration. So this will become, so energy will become equal to the, so 1 over 2 pi will take outside, integral from minus pi to the plus pi, and the remaining quantity is x conjugate of e to the power of j omega, and the left out terms are summation n is equal to minus infinity plus infinity x of n into e to the power of minus j omega n into d omega. So d omega is left out, and by interchanging, we are group the terms, which is a function of n. We group it together. Now we have this summation formula is equivalent to the dTft of x of n, which is nothing but x of e to the power of j omega. We'll substitute that one. So it will become 1 over 2 pi, the integral from minus pi to the plus pi. So this is x of e to the power of j omega, and this will become x conjugate of e to the power of j omega into d omega. So this one we can write the product of the term and the conjugate we can write as the magnitude here. So it is 1 over 2 pi. So minus pi to the plus pi. So it is x of e to the power of j omega, the magnitude the whole square into d omega. So this is what the proof we want here. So hence we proved the energy in the time domain. So this is equal to the energy in the frequency domain scaled by the factor 1 over 2 pi. So this property is very important, and in the communication, we are going to make use of this property while solving the problems related to the design of the receiver and transmitters. We'll make use of this concept and we'll get the required proof. Okay, so these are the properties what we have seen so far. And we'll summarize the list of the properties so that we can make use of these properties in the problems. And I'll give the summary of these problems. Let us take the property. So we'll make the property summary. Properties summary will take property summary. So first one is the periodicity property. The first property is periodicity. Says that if you are going to, in the frequency domain, it is periodic with the period equal to the 2 pi it is periodic with the period equal to the 2 pi. That is x of e to the power j omega plus 2 pi is equal to the x of e to the power j omega. Even if you want, you can add k also. That does not matter. It will remain same only. So this is the periodicity property. And the second one is the second property, which is called as a linearity property. The second property, which is called as a linearity property. The linearity property. So in the linearity property, it says that so a into x of n plus b into y of n. So if we take the dt of t, so it has become a into x of e to the power of j omega plus b into y of e to the power of j omega. So this property is called as the linearity property, and it is going to satisfy the concept of the superposition. Satisfy the concept of the superposition, it is going to satisfy. Take the next property, which is called as the time shift property. Time shift property. So shift in the time domain is equivalent to the multiplying the corresponding content in the frequency domain. So x of n minus n naught. So if we take the dt of t, so this has become x of e to the power of j omega into e to the power of minus j omega into n naught. Omega into n naught. So this is the time shift property. The other property, which is called as the frequency shift property. Frequency shift property. So what it says is the shift in the frequency domain is equivalent to the multiplying the time domain contained with the exponential term. So we have x of n e to the power of j omega naught n. So if we take the dt of t of this one, so this has become x of e to the power of j. So omega minus omega naught into, sorry, omega minus omega naught. That's it here. So this is the frequency shift property. If you want, you can write the other version also, minus j omega naught into n. So if we take the dt of t of this one, so this has become x of e to the power of j. If it is minus, here we'll get the plus, and if it is plus, I will get the minus there. So this is the frequency shift property. And afterwards, we have seen the time reversal property, right? We have seen the time reversal property. So the property number 5, which is called as the time reversal property. Time reversal property. So that is x of minus n. So if we take the dt of t, it has become x of e to the power of minus j. So e to the power of j, we can write as a minus omega. We can write e to the minus j omega. So we can write as minus omega, or else we can write this as also as a x of minus omega. Also we can write here. So both are one on the correct, or both are one on the same, but different notations we are going to use. The next property, which is called as the time scaling property. So you're going to scale in the time domain by the factor which is equal to p. So it is x of n into p. So in the frequency domain, so this will be equal to the, so if we take the dt of t, so it is x of e to the power of j omega by p. Omega by p. So this one you're going to get in the frequency domain. So which is called as a time shift property. Afterwards, you have seen the time shift property we have seen. Afterwards, we have seen the differentiation in the time domain. We have seen that property which is called as differentiation in the frequency domain. Differentiation in frequency domain. Differentiation in the frequency domain. So that is the thing, but so minus j into n into x of n. If I am going to have, so then that is corresponds to the dt of t is the thing, but d divided by d omega of x of e to the power of j omega. So this is the differentiation in the frequency domain. And next one, we have seen the convolution property. Convolution in the time domain. So this is also called as a convolution property. So we know very important property. The convolution in the time domain is equivalent to the multiplication of their respective DFTs. So if we take the dt of t of this one, so x of e to the power of j omega into y of e to the power of j omega. So this is the convolution property. The next one is it's a multiplication in the time domain. Multiplication in the time domain. So this is equal to the convolution in the frequency domain. So we can write x of n into y of n. So if we take the TTFT of this one, so it has become, okay, so just a second, I'll come. If you summarize the rest of the properties, I'll come.